Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to July in the United England of Great Kingdom. It's absolutely gorgeous. We've had a few days of rain and I think we forecast a bit more for the next few days. But at the moment, it's Friday, the sun is out, and because we've had this bit of rain, the grass is nearly as tall as I am, which isn't saying much because I'm only little, but it's absolutely beautiful. All the green, and it's early in the morning, so there's like a little bit of a heat haze in the distance, which augurs well for a beautiful day. Molly's arthritis is playing up now, and I've actually bought her, and it's like a dog buggy, it's like a pram really, a stroller, and just looks like a kid's stroller, but it's obviously made for an animal. So I put her in it the other day, and it's quite high up. She jumped up, leapt out of it like a gazelle, landed like a panther, scared me to death. So that's in the back of the car now, so I don't know whether that'll get any use. I'll never be a millionaire at this rate. There's a few people out today. July, and it's quite breezy, and it's cool because of the breeze. The sun is warm, I can feel the warmth from the sun, but it's quite cool because, as you might be able to hear, the wind is whistling through the trees to my left. It all sounds fantastic. There's no other noises at all, even though I'm quite close to a little country lane over to the left here. There's no traffic on it at the moment, and it's very quiet apart from the wind. So all you can hear is the wind. So when you stand here, it's perfect because you can just look, and I'm looking around at all the beautiful countryside in the distance, the hills, and all I can hear is a little bit of bird song over there, of the wind whistling through the branches. It's great to be alive, isn't it? I don't think we think about that enough, really. It is good. We should appreciate every day that comes along. And we spend a lot of our time kind of moaning about our lot and, oh, isn't life tough? Isn't life dealt me a bad hand and everything like that? But while we're doing that, the clock's ticking. And it's wasting it. Don't waste time. Get out there, enjoy yourself, do whatever you want to do. Don't push yourself too hard. Be successful if you can, but don't push yourself too hard. Don't forget the end goal is to enjoy life. Going out there and pushing yourself to achieve, to climb the ladder, to climb the corporate ladder, to get the bigger house, to get the newer car, to get more money in the bank. We're struggling, cost of living, boom, 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 all these things weighing down on you. And it's like, when do you just call it a day and say, well, hang on, we're all right now, let's just carry on now and enjoy ourselves, enjoy life. We only get one knock at it. You don't go up there, you know, the pearly gates, and say, well, I didn't really enjoy that, can I have another go? Because the answer is always no. Molly's slowed up a bit now, so we're just taking it easy. She's slowed up a lot more. I can see a kind of bit of a difference week on week. She's slowing up and she's stopping more. We're spending more time just chilling, sitting on tree stumps, sitting in the grass when it's dry. She loves that. She will just sit and watch the world go by. A lot of older dogs like that, you see, they're quite happy. They don't want to be inside, they want to be outside. So they're quite happy to just sit, watch the world go by, have a bit of a roll around, bit of a belly rub, and all is well with the world. And that's where Molly is at the moment. But she loves it out here. She loves it. It's cool enough. She doesn't like it when it's really warm, but it's just cool enough. It's just nice. A couple of crows in the tree above me, making a bit of a racket. I love the sound of crows. I think I've said this before, that the archetypal sound of the British countryside is the distant sound of church bells and the sound of crows. And if you can just imagine that, distant Sunday morning, bells pealing, and that sound. Isn't that fantastic? I love it. Yeah, July. We'll soon be heading towards the end of the year, won't we? August, another warm month, then September, when we started thinking about putting the central heating back on. The end of the year's coming. We found a little spot to sit because Molly's getting tired, and it's in the shade and it's actually warming up. I think it's going to be about 25 degrees today. So we found a little spot to sit where we can actually just take in this lovely view in front of us. There's fields, and then there's like a low hill that's completely covered in trees that were planted about 100 years ago. Let's have a look at this. It's beautiful. Very English. So we're going to have a few minutes here, and Molly's eating grass, so she'll probably throw up later on. She'll probably have a sit down in a minute, and this is all she wants to do. She can sit in the shade, watching the world go by. People come walking past, she'll trot up to them and say hello and have a little howl at them, and everybody makes a great fuss of her, which is lovely. But it's nice and peaceful and quiet. The sun is blocked out by the branches above me, but there's some light coming through, this like dapple light, and it's coming through the leaves on the trees. They're glowing this almost iridescent green. Fabulous. These are the kind of things you should take note of when you're out in the countryside. The colours, the sounds, the smells. They're all part of the whole. It's a jigsaw that makes up a beautiful picture. Just be quiet. I mean, I can sit here for hours just listening, and it really does your soul good. I'm absolutely convinced that with my health issues, cancer, chronic heart failure, I do think that if I didn't get out in the countryside, if I didn't appreciate the countryside, if I didn't invest so much of my emotions in the countryside, I don't think I'd be as well as I am. I think I would be a lot farther down the road. I'm 69, I was 69 a couple of weeks ago, and I'm wondering, really, at 69, that's old for the men in our family. I'm wondering where I'll actually be here. So think about that. When you get out in the countryside, think about the fresh air you're breathing. Think about how your mind's stimulated, how your body is getting the exercise. Even if it's just gentle, it all helps. And just think about that. Get out in the countryside, because it's actually bloody good for you. You only need to look at people who sit in front of the television all day or in offices doing sedentary jobs. They look pasty, probably overweight. As when they're getting on towards retirement, well, they put a bit of weight on because they're not getting out and keeping themselves young. Young up here, as young as you can be here. And I'll tell you what, you can't do any better than that. So when it comes to it, at the end of the day, you can kind of think, well, I'm going to pop off in a bit, but that's all right. I did my best. Stayed around as long as I can. It's been a good ride. I'm maudlin. But this is very, very beautiful. And I really am at peace with the world. I mean, when I think about it, my only, if I didn't have financial problems, the same financial problems as everybody else has got, I'm not saying mine are any greater than anybody else's, but we're all under the cosh at the moment, and I've sold the boat and now I'm renting, so I'm paying a lot of money for rent, which off a pension is kind of crippling me, eating away at my savings. But I don't mind. But for financial problems, I would have no problems at all. Think about that. There's one thing in life that really is the cause of most people's angst and anxiety and worry, and it's money. And we rely too much on money. We strive for the big house, like I say, things like that. Cut your cloth. Do you really need that big house? Do you really need that big car? Do you really need the foreign holidays when you can holiday in the beautiful countryside of Great Britain? It's worth thinking about, isn't it? I stopped going abroad years ago. When I first had my heart attack, about 16 years ago, and my bypass, I found it quite difficult to get travel insurance, and travel insurance was quite quite expensive. And I think the last place I flew to was to see a friend in South Korea. That was years ago, probably 8 years ago, something like that. And I thought, oh, sorry. And I let my passport lapse because I thought, I'm not bothered. Why? Going through airports isn't what it was. It's like driving cars. I remember, because I'm an old fart, I remember years ago when it was great to get out in the countryside in the car and drive about and everybody was happy. But now there's just too much traffic on the road. Everybody's too impatient. There are bad drivers. And it's the same with airports, with flying. It used to be enjoyable. Not anymore. There's too many rules and regulations, too many people angst and anger and letting the airport delays wind them up like mad. It's not good. I think we all need to really sit back and take stock sometime and just think, whoa, let's calm this down a little bit. Let's just look at our family and what we've got already and what we've got just to get us by. Appreciate that. Don't let anything else come in and start pecking away at you, because that's the trouble. Peck, 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 heart attack. Have a good diet. There's too much crap on the shelves. I've let my diet slip a little bit lately. All I ate was fresh veg. Don't eat much meat because of cancer I can't digest red meat, so I've never eaten much red meat anyway, so I've cut that out. I have chicken, I like chicken, so I have chicken and I eat a lot of fish and veg. And I'm letting it slide a little bit lately. I've started eating more bread. I don't like bread, so I'm kind of having to rein it in. I think every so often you have to kind of look at yourself and take stock and rein in a bit. Whoa, calm it down. Just come. I think we all need to do that, otherwise we reach a point sometime where we've gone completely off the other side and we're all like pissed out of our minds all the time and taking heroin and going to swingers parties. And then you think, whoa, pull it in a bit, rein it in. Don't go to swingers parties. Molly might, I don't. This is gorgeous. Just thought I'd take a moment to show you Molly's trolley. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why she doesn't like it. She's a funny little dog, and there it is. Isn't it cute? And this will mean that little old lady dogs, little old men dogs, who aren't good on the legs anymore, can still come out with the family and wander around. Isn't that cool? She's not cool. She's panting like mad. Anyway, I thought I'd just show you that. We're off now. We're going back home to have cups of tea and bacon sandwiches. And then we're going to decide what we're doing with the afternoon, because we're retired and we can do whatever we want. Anyway, have a good day. Have a good weekend. It's Friday. See you next time. Peace and love.